In our last video we created a floor slab using quick design toolbars. In this video we will add a wall, a cabinet and some dimensions. To add a wall to our project, let's click the second button, New Wall, in our quick design toolbar. Polyboard will open the drawing editor and we can start drawing a wall. By clicking the mouse on the floor slab, we will draw points connected by a line. One side of the line is shaded to show the position of the wall. In the bottom right 3D window, I can drag the mouse to see the wall in 3D. By default, our drawing is snapped to a grid. Let's continue drawing our wall using the snap to grid function. Drawing to precise dimensions will be explained in later videos. The list on the right side of the window shows the wall parameters. Let's change the wall to 100 mm thick. In the thickness parameter box, I'm going to type 100. The shaded wall position is updated to 100 mm thick. Let's add a texture to our wall. To do this, I'm going to click the three dots in front of the texture file name. This opens our texture library and we can select a texture. When I click open, the texture is applied to the wall, and when I click OK, the 2D and the 3D view are updated. We can see that the quick design toolbar is still displayed in the 2D view, showing that this is still the active view. Let's add a new cabinet to our project. To do this, I click the new cabinet button in the quick design toolbar. This opens a new cabinet window. If I just click OK, a simple box cabinet called model is now added to the cabinet list on the left. To add this cabinet to our project, I can click it to select it and then click and drag the cabinet into our project. Note that the cabinet is attracted by elastic bands, that is snapping bands, to the corners of the walls. I'm going to snap it to the corner of our two walls here. Now let's get some sizes from our drawing. I'd like to see the horizontal distance between two walls. For this, I'm going to click the horizontal measure button. That is the fourth button in our quick design toolbar. Polyboard now displays the cursor with the measure distance icon attached to it. Now when I move the mouse over the edge of a wall or the edge of a cabinet, the edge will highlight in red. When the edge is highlighted in red, if I click and move the mouse to another edge, Polyboard will display the horizontal distance between the two edges. If I click again, Polyboard will fix that distance in red on the screen. This distance will be displayed on screen until I take another measurement. To measure a vertical distance between two edges, I can click the Quick Design Vertical Measure button. To display distances permanently on our drawing, I must activate Permanent Dimensions using the Permanent Dimensions button here. Permanent Dimensions button is a toggle switch, so let's see how it works. To activate Permanent Dimensions, I must click on the Permanent Dimension button in the Quick Design toolbar. Once I've clicked on it, I can see that the Permanent Dimension button is now activated. If now I right-click the measure text and select Permanent Dimensions in the context menu, Polyboard will now display the measured distance as a dimension. This dimension will stay in place as long as the Permanent Dimension button is activated. Let's add a few more dimension text. Let's add a vertical text for the height of our wall. I'm going to click right and select Permanent Dimensions. Let's add a horizontal dimension between this wall and this wall. I'm going to click right, add this permanent dimension. The permanent dimension is now here. Now clicking the Permanent Dimension toggle button, I can display or not display the permanent dimensions. Before continuing to work on our project, it's necessary to quit the measuring tool mode. To do this, I just right click and select Quit Measuring Tool. the measuring tool icon disappears from the mouse cursor. To change the cabinet size to fit between the two walls, let's select the cabinet by clicking on it with the mouse. Once selected, I can see on the right hand side in its properties menu the height and the width of my cabinet. Let's change its height to 2000 and let's change its width to fit between our two walls. So I can see that is 3250. We can see that the cabinet is automatically resized, but to the right. Let's just click it and then drag it and snap it back into our walls into the correct position. The Cabinet Dimensions button in the Quick Design toolbar will turn on and off auto dimensioning of cabinets. If I click on it once, we can see that the cabinet dimension icon is selected, and we can see that Polyboard has automatically added dimensions for the length, the height and the width of our cabinet. These can be toggled on and off just by clicking on the cabinet dimensions icon. Let's click the cabinet dimensions and let's just change our viewpoint. I'm going to click view angle and let's have a front view of our project. When I click OK, we can see now Polyboard has rearranged the dimensions and are just showing the front view dimensions. Clicking view angle again, let's choose a plan view. Let's choose now a side view. We can see that in each view Polyboard is reorganizing the dimensions. The last button in the project Quick Design toolbar is Panels Materials. If I click Panels Materials, this will display the Edit Panels Materials dialog box. This enables you to change the design of your project by changing the panels libraries. Please look at our Quick Design videos and manual for more information on how to use Quick Design materials and libraries.